Good day Bible story enthusiasts, everyone welcome. My name is Storyteller and today on our channel Simply Audio Runs we speak with Balaam about his donkey talking to. Yes, you heard correctly. His donkey spoke to him. I am encouraging you to listen to this story carefully. Get the message from the story and apply it to life. Not just listen but use these lessons. Today's lesson is about God being able to use anyone or anything to get his message across. In Numbers chapters 22 to 24 we see Balaam going against God's will and Yahweh using his donkey to give him a message. Our characters today are Moab, Balak, Balaam. Balaam was a sorcerer who was hired by enemies to declare a curse on the children of Israel. The Lord told Balaam not to do what they were asking him to do, but he disobeyed and went nonetheless. Balaam set out on his donkey to go and curse the children of Israel, however an angel of the Lord met him on his way and stood in his way. The donkey saw the angel and refused to move forward, but Balaam could not see the angel. He started beating the donkey, because he thought it was being stubborn. God caused the donkey to speak, asking Balaam what it had done to receive the beating. After this God allowed Balaam to see the angel standing in the way with a drawn sword. Following this encounter, instead of cursing, he pronounced blessings over the children of Israel. The children of Israel traveled, and encamped in the plains of Moab beyond the Jordan at Jericho. Balak the son of Zippor saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites. Moab was very afraid of the people, because they were many. Moab was distressed because of the children of Israel.
Now this multitude will lick up all that is around us, as the ox licks up the grass of the field. Balak the son of Zippor was king of Moab at that time. He sent messengers to Balaam the son of Beor, to Pethah, which is by the river, to the land of the children of his people, to call him, saying, Behold, there is a people who came out of Egypt. Behold, they cover the surface of the earth, and they are staying opposite me. Please come now therefore, and curse this people for me, for they are too mighty for me. Perhaps I shall prevail, that we may strike them, and that I may drive them out of the land, for I know that he whom you bless is blessed, and he whom you curse is cursed.
The elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the rewards of divination in their hand. They came to Balaam, and spoke to him the words of Balak.
Lodge here this night, and I will bring you word again, as Yahweh shall speak to me. The princes of Moab stayed with me that night. God spoke with me that night. He came to me and said, Who are these men with you? Balaam said to God, Balak the son of Zippor, king of Moab, has said to me, Behold, the people that has come out of Egypt covers the surface of the earth. Now, come curse them for me. Perhaps I shall be able to fight against them and shall drive them out. God said to me, You shall not go with them. You shall not curse the people, for they are blessed. The next morning I rose up early, and said to the princes of Balak, Go to your land, for Yahweh refuses to permit me to go with you.
The princes of Moab rose up, and they went to Balak, and said, Balaam refuses to come with us. Balak again sent princes, more, and more honorable than they. They came to Balaam, and spoke to him.
Balak the son of Zippor says, Please let nothing hinder you from coming to me, for I will promote you to very great honor, and whatever you say to me I will do. Please come therefore, and curse this people for me. If Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I can't go beyond the word of Yahweh my God, to do less or more. Now therefore please stay here tonight as well, that I may know what else Yahweh will speak to me. God came to me that night, and said to me, If the men have come to call you, rise up, go with them, but only the word which I speak to you, that you shall do.
Balaam rose up in the morning, and saddled his donkey, and went with the princes of Moab. God's anger burned because he went, and Yahweh's angel placed himself in the way as an adversary against him.
As I was traveling along, my donkey stopped abruptly. I was riding on my donkey, and my 2 servants were with me. The donkey saw Yahweh's angel standing in the way, with his sword drawn in his hand, and the donkey turned out of the path, and went into the field. I struck the donkey, to turn her into the path. Then Yahweh's angel stood in a narrow path between the vineyards, a wall being on this side, and a wall on that side. The donkey saw Yahweh's angel, and she thrust herself to the wall, and crushed my foot against the wall. I struck her again. Yahweh's angel went further, and stood in a narrow place, where there was no way to turn either to the right hand or to the left. The donkey saw Yahweh's angel, and she lay down under me. My anger burned, and I struck the donkey with my staff. Yahweh opened the mouth of the donkey, and she said to me, "What have I done to you, that you have struck me these 3 times?" I said to the donkey, "Because you have mocked me, I wish there were a sword in my hand, for now I would have killed you." The donkey said to me, "Am I not your donkey, on which you have ridden all your life long until today? Was I ever in the habit of doing so to you?" I said, "No." Then Yahweh opened my eyes, and I saw Yahweh's angel standing in the way, with his sword drawn in his hand, and I bowed my head, and fell on my face. Yahweh's angel said to me, "Why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? Behold, I have come out as an adversary, because your way is perverse before me." The donkey saw me, and turned away before me these 3 times. Unless she had turned away from me, surely now I would have killed you, and saved her alive. Balaam said to Yahweh's angel, "I have sinned, for I didn't know that you stood in the way against me. Now therefore, if it displeases you, I will go back again." Yahweh's angel said to Balaam, "Go with the men, but you shall only speak the word that I shall speak to you."
Why didn't you just turn around and go back home?
The angel said I was allowed to proceed. So I went with the princes of Balak. When Balak heard that I had come, he came out to meet me to the city of Moab, which is on the border of the Arnon, which is in the utmost part of the border.
Didn't I earnestly send for you to summon you? Why didn't you come to me? Am I not able indeed to promote you to honor?
Behold, I have come to you. Have I now any power at all to speak anything? I will speak the word that God puts in my mouth.
Balaam went with Balak, and they came to Kiriath-Huzoth. Balak sacrificed cattle and sheep, and said to Balaam, and to the princes who were with him. In the morning, Balak took Balaam, and brought him up into the high places of Baal, and he saw from there part of the people.
"Build here 7 altars for me, and prepare here 7 bulls and 7 rams for me."
Balak did as Balaam had spoken, and Balak and Balaam offered on every altar a bull and a ram.
"Stand by your burnt offering, and I will go. Perhaps Yahweh will come to meet me. Whatever he shows me I will tell you."
He went to a bare height. God met Balaam, and he said to him, "I have prepared the 7 altars, and I have offered up a bull and a ram on every altar." Yahweh put a word in Balaam's mouth, and said, "Return to Balak, and thus you shall speak." He returned to him, and behold, he was standing by his burnt offering, he, and all the princes of Moab. He took up his parable, and said,
"From Aram has Balak brought me, the king of Moab from the mountains of the east. Come, curse Jacob for me. Come, defy Israel. How shall I curse whom God has not cursed? How shall I defy whom Yahweh has not defied? For from the top of the rocks I see him. From the hills I see him. Behold, it is a people that dwells alone, and shall not be listed among the nations. Who can count the dust of Jacob, or count the 4th part of Israel? Let me die the death of the righteous. Let my last end be like his."
What have you done to me? I took you to curse my enemies, and behold, you have blessed them altogether.
Must I not take heed to speak that which Yahweh puts in my mouth?
Please come with me to another place, where you may see them. You shall see just part of them, and shall not see them all. Curse them from there for me. I took Balaam into the field of Zophim, to the top of Pisgah, and built 7 altars, and offered up a bull and a ram on every altar.
Stand here by your burnt offering, while I meet God over there. Yahweh met me, and put a word in my mouth, and said, "Return to Balak, and say this." He came to him, and behold, he was standing by his burnt offering, and the princes of Moab with him. Balak asked me, "What has Yahweh spoken?" I took up this parable, and said, "Rise up, Balak, and hear. Listen to me, you son of Zippor. God is not a man, that he should lie, nor a son of man, that he should repent. Has he said, and he won't do it? Or has he spoken, and he won't make it good? Behold, I have received a command to bless. He has blessed, and I can't reverse it. He has not seen iniquity in Jacob. Neither has he seen perverseness in Israel. Yahweh his God is with him. The shout of a king is among them. God brings them out of Egypt. He has as it were the strength of the wild ox. Surely there is no enchantment with Jacob, neither is there any divination with Israel. Now it shall be said of Jacob and of Israel, what has God done? Behold, a people rises up as a lioness. As a lion he lifts himself up. He shall not lie down until he eats of the prey, and drinks the blood of the slain.
Neither curse them at all, nor bless them at all.
Didn't I tell you, saying, all that Yahweh speaks, that I must do?
Come now, I will take you to another place, perhaps it will please God that you may curse them for me from there. I took Balaam to the top of Peor, that looks down on the desert.
Build 7 altars for me here, and prepare 7 bulls and 7 rams for me here. Balak did as I said, and offered up a bull and a ram on every altar. When I saw that it pleased Yahweh to bless Israel, I didn't go, as at the other times, to use divination, but I set his face toward the wilderness. I lifted up my eyes, and I saw Israel dwelling according to their tribes, and the Spirit of God came on me. I took up a parable, and said, Balaam the son of Beor says, the man whose eyes are opened says, he says, who hears the words of God, who sees the vision of the Almighty, falling down, and having his eyes open, how goodly are your tents, Jacob, and your dwellings, Israel. As valleys they are spread out, as gardens by the riverside, as aloes which Yahweh has planted, as cedar trees beside the waters. Water shall flow from his buckets. His seed shall be in many waters. His king shall be higher than Agag. His kingdom shall be exalted. God brings him out of Egypt. He has as it were the strength of the wild ox. He shall consume the nations his adversaries, shall break their bones in pieces, and pierce them with his arrows. He couched, he lay down as a lion, as a lioness, who shall rouse him up? Everyone who blesses you is blessed. Everyone who curses you is cursed.
My anger burned against Balaam, and I struck my hands together. I called you to curse my enemies, and, behold, you have altogether blessed them these 3 times. Therefore, flee to your place, now. I thought to promote you to great honor, but, behold, Yahweh has kept you back from honor.
If you Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I can't go beyond Yahweh's word, to do either good or bad from my own mind. I will say what Yahweh says. I took up this parable, and said, Balaam the son of Beor says, the man whose eyes are opened says, I say, who hears the words of God, knows the knowledge of the Most High, and who sees the vision of the Almighty, falling down, and having his eyes open, I see him, but not now. I see him, but not near. A star will come out of Jacob. A scepter will rise out of Israel, and shall strike through the corners of Moab, and crush all the sons of Sheth. Edom shall be a possession. Seir, his enemy, also shall be a possession, while Israel does valiantly. Out of Jacob shall one have dominion and shall destroy the remnant from the city. I then looked at Amalek, and took up his parable, and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall come to destruction. I looked at the Kenite, and took up his parable, and said, Your dwelling place is strong. Your nest is set in the rock. Nevertheless Cain shall be wasted, until Ashur carries you away captive. I took up his parable, and said, Alas, who shall live when God does this? But ships shall come from the coast of Kittim. They shall afflict Ashur, and shall afflict Eber. He also shall come to destruction. I rose up, and went and returned to my place, and Balak also went his way.
Thank you so much for being with us today, and we will surely obey in all things, as today's message tells us obedience is better than sacrifice. God will use anything or anyone he chooses to help us make good choices. Until next time, have a blessed day.